Okay, get ready to paint the cutest little turtle on your rock today. So here she is. This is what we're going to be creating, and let's get started. So I'm going to color in this rock. I'm going to complete the rock fully colored in, and I don't color in my whole layer, base layer across the rock. I try not to have the rock too thick, so a lot of people might put base coats and all sorts of things down as the background. I like to see the image that I'm painting, and so I paint the background around my image, and you can see that that's what I'm doing here. So at the moment I'm painting all the water around the image of my turtle, and I'm just doing, because I've got no base coats or anything like that, the coverage you're going to get on the first coat is going to be dependent on how porous your rock is. So you can see a little bit of it is fading and it's not 100% even in coverage at this point. And that's okay. That paint is sort of soaking in a little bit to the rock, and it's having a relationship with the rock. And that's better than, putting base coats over it where it's repelling the paint to the rock. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about that. Just do a nice thin layer. Also, don't try to keep coloring in more to get it thick at this point. Okay, so just paint that nice thin layer and let it soak in as it wants to naturally do on the rock. We'll come back and fix that all up and even it out and make it really opaque in a minute. So this is a color, I haven't used this for a while, the apple green by Posca. There's a light green, but the apple green's got almost a yellow sort of tinge to it, so that makes it really nice on the turtle. That works really well. Okay, so I'm just going to keep coloring in the colors on the turtle, and while I'm doing it, I first chose to paint the turtle because, like, my friend that's living in Bali, she sent me a photo of the turtles that are in a little favourite off an island that we like to go to for weekends. And you can normally see a turtle, maybe two. But with all the tourists gone, it's like the sea life has come back in, and so she's like, there's heaps of turtles. It's like you've never seen so many. And I thought, that's what I'll do. I'll paint a turtle today. And it sort of got me thinking, like, personally, I don't go swimming with turtles anymore. Like, the last time I did, I was in Papua New Guinea, and I was swimming up off a shipwreck up there with some friends off an island. And I was in there and I saw the turtle, and I was like, okay, no worries. When you're in the ocean, you never know what is in the ocean with you. So I was like, okay, turtle, no problem. This is all good. And then, like, some shadowy sort of creatures further up. And, I wore glasses at the time, so I have no idea what these shadowy creatures are. So you've never seen someone get out of that water so quick and jump back up into the boat. And it turned out that they were dugongs. I was convinced. So anyway, that was one layer. Now we're on to the two layers. But yeah, I was convinced that it was sharks, and that was it. They were going to eat me. So back to cute turtles. I don't know where my mind goes. But now you know what, that's the last time that I swam with turtles. So anyway, we've done the two coats. I hope you're into sign language because, I'm babbling on. But I'm sort of trying to tell you with my fingers what was happening. So I have the two coats on it, and you can see once I coloured the second coat in, it went very opaque and it was no longer streaky or anything like that. And now I'm just popping down some shading, which I've dipped my paintbrush in some water, and I wipe the excess water off my paintbrush, and I just tap it onto the top of my paint pen to pick up some colour and just smush that onto my rock. Now, if you're not using paint pens and you're using acrylic paint, this step is even easier, okay? Because this is something that I do with acrylic paint and paintbrushes, and I had to figure out, well, for the people that use paint pens, how would they go about that? And sort of came up with this bit of a technique on probably the easiest way to get your shading done on the rock. Yeah, so you can see here, it's like I'm going to leave the eye, and I've done a really black outline previously, but I've let that dry when I said I'm going to leave the eye. So I did that, a big thick black outline, and now I'm starting to thin that down and add the colour. Okay, now if the colours are wet side by side, they're going to bleed into each other. And I kind of want that on this eye. I don't mind if the blue and the white sort of bleed into each other a bit. If you want a really precise look, you would do the black, let it dry. You would then do the white and let it dry, and then do the blue and let it dry. So now I'm just grabbing my black pen and doing all the outlines on the turtle. And I'll come in and do the black in the eye in a minute once that blue and white have dried. Because otherwise the black will blend in with that, and that's definitely, I don't want that happening on the eye at the moment. Okay, so just keep going around with all your outlines. Just add some curvy shapes to the shells here. The shells, there's one, not plural, the shell. Okay, I can't remember where I got this image from. I know I was just sort of trolling around on Pinterest, and I sort of saw that little Winky look to the turtle, and I thought, yeah, that's exactly how I felt like when I first saw my friends saying that there was heaps of turtles and things like that. It's almost like the turtles was sort of winking and saying, this is our playground, we're here. And I really loved that. So you can see now I've done the black, but because I waited for the white and the blue to dry, it didn't bleed in with the black, so I was able to give it a nice solid line. Just sort of use the black, didn't use too much around the water, but I'm just trying to give it a little look of movement around the turtle. Not exactly waves, but just sort of water movement. And now I'm grabbing my white pen and just adding a little bits of reflection and where the light might shine down on the little turtle. Yes, I saw the picture on Pinterest, so I don't know if any of you guys are on Pinterest, but I've just started our Pinterest account, so you can pop over to Rock Painting Workshops on Pinterest and start pinning all our ideas now and make boards and all that sort of fun stuff. I know I love doing it and finding lots of inspiration over there. Or you can join us on Facebook as well and come and show us your little turtles at Reef Rock's free workshops, and I'll see you there.